on my YouTube page. Yes, perfect. Hello, beautiful family. So much love to each of you and wishing all of you beautiful and amazing and blessed Wednesday, July 1st. So much love, so much love, so much love to all of you. Thank you so much for joining. So let me see my Facebook page. This is a new page that I'm looking. Oh, okay, I see where I see the viewers. Hello, Mary. Nice to see you. Hello, those of you that are also joining me on my YouTube page. Let me just adjust this. Thank you so much. I really appreciate being with all of you today. Hello, Joel. No, so much love, my dear. Happy July 1st, everyone. It is so beautiful to finally enter the month of July. I don't know about all of you, but I feel that May and June has been the deepest transformational months in years. I feel 2017 was very, very intense. 2018 has been, of course, everything after 2012. We've had this period of quite a bit of transcendence, transfiguration, transmutation, and transformation, so that the authentic self can really be here, be present, be in the living form, and sharing its light, sharing its truth. So, and we've been in the midst of a lot of so-called intense frequencies, because a lot has been come for revelation. So we've had the opportunity to navigate through these debris and recognizing where we are, where is our truth, where is our awareness, where is our deep calling, and can we see through the layers of deception, and can we stand tall in our authority and our true divine power outside the the agendas and the plans and the false light and all of that, and frankly dark. So I wanted to say hello. Hello, Daniel. Nice to see you, darling. So today I was so excited to start July with one and only Steph Fairbairn, my dear secret sister, the galactic, cosmic, celestial, Magdalene, Christ at heart, sister on my Alchemy short video series that was earlier videotaped, well, live streamed earlier on my YouTube page at 12 o'clock. And she is a beautiful Magdalene sister of mine, because we're both very focused on the frequency of Mary Magdalene on the planet and its devotion, its frequency, its light stream, its codes of light, and the true code streams of light, and allowing it to be of service and the service of the consciousness of the Magdalene. So I really celebrate this month of June with the presence of Mary Magdalene behind all of us. That is really about the Kristos light, the light of the Christed one, the one that has connected to its Christed essence, its crystalline light, which is a clear diamond frequency, which allows it to be streamed through source light all the way through down to the golden rose of Gaia, and from there it can be anchored in. So it is for me a huge celebration this month, and every Wednesday I will have the guests that are dedicated to Mary Magdalene, because the Magdalene Feast is in 3 weeks from today. And yes, for those of you that have been anticipating and waiting patiently, so some of you had asked whether I will have another Feast of Mary Magdalene this year. As some of you know, I have a private Mary Magdalene page. It's not private, actually, it's public. All of you are welcome to join, and it is dedicated to Mary Magdalene frequency, ancient teaching, the Gnostics, everything to do between her love with beloved Yeshua and the Kristos light and their divine alchemy and the art of alchemy, the alchemized, the Alchem state, and being able to be of the highest service for this Kristos light, the inner Christ merging with the divine light. And so any retreat, any kind of classes, any gatherings, any live streams, it's all that this page is dedicated to that, to those who really wish to explore more. And if anybody also feels there's this sort of like a vibration of Mary Magdalene that's called to them, that's a really great page. You do have to answer the 3 questions that are there to join. There are about 70 people that have requested, but they're not being accepted because they did not answer the 3 questions. So, but if you want to join, you're welcome. It's called the Magdalene Sacred Divine Hearts page. So you're welcome to join. And I wanted to just check in with you because this is around the Magdalene frequency. I wanted to see, how are you all doing? How are you really, really doing? How is your authentic voice? Stella and I really spoke of this today. The voice of our truth has to come from the gateway of the heart. And the gateway of the heart has its own pillar that is the guardian that allows the spoken words to be the words of divine truth. And it is deeply grounded in the lower 3 chakras, deeply grounded into the heart of Gaia's 5th dimensional consciousness. It is connected to personal ascension and planetary ascension. It is connected to the diamond clarity, the diamond codes of light. So it's very powerful because once we're in this streamline, we are aligned with it. It is very difficult to be manipulated, to be controlled, to be dominated, to have false agenda, to have anything that's really on the outside that wants to interact with our field. It just doesn't allow it, because the crystalline frequency, for example, those of you who have had your light code transmission activation of the crystalline diamond light body with me, there's over 500 of you or so plus that have had this activation. Your heart has already been transfigured into the diamond template, and then your physical body and your emotional body, mental body, etheric body, and spiritual body, your bodies have moved into the new template of the crystalline diamond frequency, and it is connected to Christ light. So from this place, the vibration field is set within this Kristos consciousness, where the outer that has a different frequency than this just cannot interact. It's simple as that. And it is a very strong protective field, but it's not coming from a place of fear protecting. It's from the highest divine love illumination. So it radiates the 12 rays of light through its presence, through its central core. And what is very valuable about this, because it allows the alchemized state of the higher consciousness from our higher bodies to be streamed through this physical garment, so it can be a living stream of the Christed being walking on earth, so that we can just deliver the goods here. And that's why when we are in this consciousness, we cannot give our energy to the consciousness that is operating from opposing frequencies, such as fear-based or paranoia, or let's say helplessness or hopelessness, or any of those frequencies that are quite in opposition of what this radiance is, because it is radiating the freedom from its liberation state of expansion, which is an ascended state of consciousness, which is governed by the gratefulness frequency. So hopefully that's a bit of a mouthful. Hopefully that really adds up. And I wanted to also share this because this month of July is very important. It's very important for those of us that are connected to the Magdalene frequency. I feel everybody is. There's soul charts in everyone. There's so many individuals that are feeling called to the sacred divine feminine, to the divine mother, to the Mother Mary energy, the Mary energy, the Magdalene, the Magdala, and really that true feminine Christ frequency. And if you call to it, it's beautiful. Many feel their reincarnation of Mary Magdalene. That's beautiful. I'm not here to judge. I've spoken about this quite a bit, and there is a fabric. Fabric is the best word that I like to say. Within many that have incarnated, that are carrying this Sophia Christ frequency. And there's so many of us that have been activated through our ascension journey to take part deliberately in being the carrier of the Magdalene frequency. And the carrier of the Magdalene frequency has certain signatures about it. Often we have been put in a lot of dysfunctional situations in our families, and we have had to stand up. We have had to break traditions. We've had to break a lot of, let's say, cultures, religions. We've had to stand up facing being shamed, being attacked, being bullied, being disrespected, there's so much around it, and basically that sacred flame inside, in many possible ways, an attempt to wipe it out or put it out, for again lack of a better word. However, the Magdalene chart within, or those that are part of this Magdalene voice consciousness, we have had to go through these debris and really feel it and have it authentic experience so viscerally on a cellular level, and come to the remembrance of being goddesses, being the priestesses that were in the temple, that brought the rituals into the presence to create the alchemized state, to transform the energy. And that's in multiple ways. I'm not going to get into that in here. So as a result of it, that in which we were able to transfigure and transmute and rise from our own resurrection, that has been the granted Kristos light, because that's when the light has been resurrected within us, and then being able to speak from that grounded, authentic state. And that grounded, authentic state, the voice comes from here. It's the voice of the Magdalene. And that's why this voice has had to open up. The voice of our truth, coming from the virtues of divine, the qualities of divine, and allowing it to be expressed with an environment that has been very closed and narrow and shut and in disharmony of its own true nature of divinity, so that we can bring the voice in and dare to speak where it's been forbidden, dare to communicate the vibration of divine illumination where it has attempted in every way to shut it, especially carrying that divine sexual, sensual energy that has been the true serpent energy, because the golden mother serpent energy, that dragon energy that is filled with the transfiguration frequency so that the Kristos light can stream in. It's been a huge undertaking of many years. So many of us that have been part of the planetary grid work for several years, we have had to take this frequency in which we were blasted and open into, then taking it on the road and allowing the voice to come in, allowing it to transform the energy within Gaia, within the fields of Gaia, within the particularly the pulse or the heartbeat of Gaia, and opening it up so it opens up through the grid lines, working with the dragons and clearing these lines so that the beautiful grid lines, the ley lines, can start breathing. And my work particularly has been with the breath, and this is the remembrance of the Lemurian aspect of myself, and also the whale energy, to start breathing it and opening up and going into a trance and going into the movement and the sound to start opening it up for many, many years in various locations, remote locations, so that Gaia's heartbeat can breathe, so that this golden rose of Gaia, which is this magnificent blossoming rose, inside of it is this pillar of diamond, can open up, blossom, which she has, so that the humanity that is now awakening can anchor with it. And the anchoring has to do with the Divine Mother, with our divine heart, with the heart of Gaia. So it's a streamline. So, and the voice of the Magdalene is within the fields, it's within the cosmos, it's in the universal light. And as we tune into it, we can begin to tune into the same frequency of vibration. And that's why there's been so much more of light language coming in. There's a cellular memory of awakening. Of course, many, when they first began, they have no idea how to work with the light language. It's just blurting things out, and that's okay. It takes quite a bit of while to hone it, to recognize the frequency and whether it's a pure one or non-pure. And unfortunately, there are many light workers that their systems, because they have such weak lower three chakras that are anchored in properly, their fields is literally just utilized, and a lot of stream does communicate through him, but it's not clean vibration frequency. And I'm usually like eerie and kind of like stay away from that, because it does take discipline to stay with the Christ light frequency of the crystal codes. You need time, discipline, devotion. It's a personal alchemy, and alchemy doesn't happen like that. It is a practice of stillness. It is a practice of devotion, and there's a lot of breath. There's a lot that takes place for individuals to go through it, to be with it, so they can anchor it and hone it. And once they can anchor it and hone it, then be given the permission to utilize it as a service, and of a higher service for others in its own unique expression, however way that is. So having said that, the voice of the Magdalene consciousness is now on the planet. The voice of the Magdalene consciousness is within all of us, that is asking us to speak the voice of our divine truth. Let it come from Gaia. Let it hold us in so much grounded energy. Let it vibrate through our lower three chakras, passing through the gateway of our heart. So the voice, when it comes through our throat chakra, is very clear, and it is streamlined through our upper chakra. So we are very clear in the spoken words, because it carries keys and codes in it as it is spoken out. However, when it just comes in and people blurt it out, it's not anchored. It doesn't create the expansion that it needs to. If anything, it creates more hurt and damage. So this month, being the month of Magdalene, we're between the eclipses. There's a major gateway. Stargate opens up on 7/7. Then we have 8/8. 8/8 is the most significant one. The two that I really put a lot of my energy for years, that for 5 years I was assigned to it, to be the star gate opener in Mount Shasta 5 years in a row. I'm glad to have been of honor and service to that, to be able to go through the corridors and assist when it opens up through the central sun and the galactic sun to source sun, to be able to open that and allow the streams to come in to anchor them. And you got to really prepare your body for that, your bodies, and you got to be in a very, clean vibration field so you can handle it and you don't hurt yourself, you don't hurt others. It's a just high responsibility. And this year is not that, neither has been last year. And but I am looking forward to it, because as this gateway is opening, there is quite a bit of more streams coming in, and there's a lot of talk about the Schumann resonance, and I kind of even stay away from that, because I feel that's another program that's running. To me, it's the pulse of Gaia's heartbeat. As Gaia's heartbeat that is pulsing, it's pulsing, synchronizing with the Divine Mother heartbeat, and I can always connect to it. I know if within my heart if I'm synchronized or I'm out of sync, because I can tell how it's affecting my body, from heart palpitations, or anxiousness, or thirsty, pain in my body, all of that. But when I'm synchronized and I'm more in that stillness, I am breathing better with her, and I don't need any Schumann resonance. With all due respect, a lot of the information that comes from NASA, I have no respect for, because NASA is another program that is not, I just don't trust. And so that's just me. You don't have to take my word for it. Coming back this month of July, we have the Magdalene feast. There's this Magdalene frequency before we go into the 8-8 Stargate. And speaking of this, also the 7-7, I'm so honored that my sacred sister Valerie is invited Stellar and I, together with our beloveds, so her beloved John and my beloved Michael, together with Alan Steinfeld, we are going to be live at 11:30 a.m. on Tuesday to really embrace the devotion and dedication to Mary Magdalene. And speaking of that, for the last 2 years I've held ceremony around the Magdalene feast, and because we're in the middle of moving, I will be creating a ceremony via Zoom. So for those of you that feel called, you can tune in, and I will tell you the timing. I believe it will be 3:33 p.m. Eastern on 7/22. It will be a good 2 hours, and I'll let you know what you need to prepare in your sacred space so that I can take you through a ceremony. And as I receive the guidance from Mary Magdalene through this, so to help us all move into the voice of the Magdalene and the voice of its truth, its frequency, which is so sacred and powerful when we tune into it, because it bypasses us through what's been playing out on the earth plane, which is very dense and dark right now, and we can just totally lift it to a different vibrational field. So I wanted to just share that with you briefly, and please do leave me a note. How are you doing? How are you navigating through these realms? How are you facing the densities? How are you also allowing Mary Magdalene's frequency to give you the authentic divine power to stay above all these polarities, so that the divine unity can guide the way? Love to hear from you. And this was a very short live stream because I've missed you. It's been very busy on our end. I haven't been able to come on live. I just want to thank you all for being you, and there's no greater gift that you can give to anybody than to just be you and give yourself permission to really bring the higher realm into your bodies, into your physical template, especially into your lower 3 chakras, to anchor it, because that is very, very key. We have to bring this into the 3D and face the 3D to expand it with so much love and grace and authentic power. And sometimes we do very well, and sometimes we don't, and that's the journey, and that's okay. So anyways, much love to all of you. This was very short. Please do join us on Tuesday for the gathering we have with Valerie and Alan Sanford and Stellar, her beloved John, me and Michael. And the Wednesday next week, the 8th, I will have another sacred guest dedicated to Mary Magdalene. The following week, I have an amazing brother Jay Morton on this show, and then on 7/22 will be the Magdalene feast, and I'm so looking forward to it, and that will be done online. So much love to all of you. Thank you, Licia. Thank you, Ariana. So much love. Big heart, and I'll speak to all of you later. May you have the most blessed and amazing day. May you find the courage to be you. Nothing is greater than you. And the Christed you, the divine you, your higher self, to completely live and walk your divine truth on Gaia, and walk it on her belly, synchronize it to her fifth dimensional consciousness as part of the golden age. There's nothing greater that we can give. There's nothing to show off here. Be you, and be you, where so many have forgotten because they're pulled into so many areas, and they can't even tell that they're pulled anymore because they're so washed in that. And the voice of the Magdalene comes to stand in its authentic power and to radiate its spoken words of truth, but very anchored, very grounded. So that's the key for that. I love you all, and I look forward to seeing many of you on Friday for the Friday Tea Time Ascension Talk. Michael and I, we have on our YouTube channel on Ascension Alchemist. We'll go over what's been going on the last 3 weeks and our journey of getting a home and being, all the rejections from the applications, how we've been navigating. And plus, then Sunday, we do have the Sacred Sunday Spiritual Service with our sacred brother, Fidel the Light, as our guest, who is anchoring the Golden Age through his Golden Age art exhibit in Baltimore. So much good is happening. It's so beautiful. Maybe choose to see all the blessed and good and not get caught in all the dark that's playing out. So much love to all of you, and thank you so much for being here with me today. I've missed you all, and my apologies, I haven't been as active. Our plate has been extremely full, and I'm navigating through the space that I need for me, the space I'm here for Michael, our union, our family, and also planetary. Anyway, thank you so much. See you all very soon.